When you first find out you're becoming a parent, you spend the next 9 months preparing. You dream about that little bundle of joy, what it's going to look like, all the things you cannot wait to teach them. It is a beautiful time. But then reality sets in eventually, and tragedies like the Tops massacre take place. You find yourself as a parent trying to find the right words and time to start or continue that heavy and in some cases uncomfortable conversation on race.
Can unintentionally.
Anthony Armstrong and Chuki Naylor agreed to sit down with me to share their experiences parent to parent. For Armstrong, it's never been just a single talk with his 13 and 9-year-old sons. Instead, it's been a series of lessons that present themselves in day-to-day life.
Also making sure that that questions aren't taboo. It's making sure that we're able to talk about it, and that if there are things that come up they don't understand or they're curious about, they can ask those, and if we don't know the answer, we're also upfront about that.
It offers a family learning experience, but Armstrong says for white parents in particular, the first step is to educate yourself.
And I think I also learned a story growing up in school about race in America that sort of had 5 parts. It was, we had slavery, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, we had to drink from separate water fountains, MLK made a speech, and now everything's cool, right? It was this very oversimplified version.
Naylor echoes it's extremely important to educate yourself and also make a conscious effort to befriend someone you might otherwise not. Your kids, in turn, will do the same.
What happens is you find out that we're more alike than we are different. We all want safety for our children. We all struggle to keep our house clean. You know what I mean? There's always more socks to fold.
Armstrong and his wife also take time to interrupt and identify what they see as segregation, racial discrimination, or inequity in books, movies, TV, and again, reality.
Being willing to stop reading that book for a second and call that out.
And making sure those books and shows are showing forms of multiculturalism.
And making sure that all the stories that our kids hear about people who are black, brown, Latino, etc., aren't all about struggle, right? That they get to see kids being kids.
Not dimming someone's light, as Naylor teaches her 2 boys, 25 and 13.
Now, if and when you encounter someone who decides simply because of the color of your skin that you're bad, what you must do is offer them the opportunity to see good in the world.
Naylor's talk with her eldest son, like Armstrong, was initiated by an event.
He wanted to hang out with some friends, and he did not understand why those friends would never invite him over to their home.
Her son was just 6 years old.
Initially, my thought was to ignore it. Mom might be busy, they have a different family, all of that kind of stuff. And then it became glaring.
Her next step was simple. Keep his light bright.
They don't want to have the fullness of what comes with being in friendship or in a more intimate relationship with you. They're lost.
Never change for anyone and love who you are. That has been a key part of her conversation with her second son, who's on the autism spectrum.
It's a little challenging to find ways for him to be included without him feeling like he's excluded, because he's aware that there are differences between himself and others.
Now, driving was a whole other conversation, and the topic still keeps her up at night.
I don't want to go to sleep until I hear the door turn.
She adds, if you get that gut feeling of being uncomfortable in any conversation, you are doing something right.
Stop saying you don't see color. Stop saying it, because in the winter, I'm 3 shades lighter.
Armstrong says empathy is key, no matter what age you are.
When people of color are talking, listen to their perspectives and experiences, even if they are not lining up with yours. I think we have to be open to questioning sort of some of the assumptions that we have.
Reporting for Spectrum News, I'm Brianna Foose.